Hey guys, this is Sonic93. This is our second update of the AkaiDalia rant, but in this update, we're gonna state our own personal thoughts about her.
She hasn't been causing any trouble lately, but there's still a few problems we have with her. In the last video we did, some of Akai's fans came and bashed us. They accused us of being bullies to Akai, and that she can do whatever she wants. Listen, to Akai's fans and Akai herself, please don't take these rants the wrong way. We're not doing this to be mean to Akai, or to be bullies. All we're doing is simply saying our opinions about her. We're not insulting her personally, we just don't like what she's doing with her character. When we say we don't like her character, we don't say that to be mean to Akai herself. We haven't said one bad thing about her as a person. We're just saying our own thoughts on her character, and giving her character criticism.
And Akai, you have been saying that people are spreading lies about you, and one of them is that you can't accept advantages and disadvantages criticisms. If that was not true, how come every time someone says something about your character that you don't happen to like about her, and even offer tips how for you to improve, you've been blocking people, accusing them for being a hater, and think they're against you? And also, you're one of the most famous Sonic artists on DeviantArt, mainly because of your Sonata comic. But now it seems more like you're famous because of how you treat other people when they have different opinions about your stuffs except for your fans. It all started when people kept thinking that your character looks like Amy Rose. You've been calling them things, made angry emotions every time they say she looks like Amy, and you got furious to the point that you made a comparison picture, and insulted others for believing your character looks like Amy in the artist's comment. The way you're trying to explain that Akai looks nothing like Amy, you're putting it in a way that you think we can't see that Akai has different outfit compared to Amy, different hairstyle, dark pink, and so on. Akai, after all this time people have been trying to tell you why she looks like Amy Rose, you're missing the point. It's not that people think that Akai has the same outfit as Amy, or the same features. It's because of how you make your character look like, or act like with Sonic. The bangs in the hair looks just less than Amy's has. Your character has just a longer and less bang hair version than Amy's. That doesn't separate them apart. It would separate them apart if Akai has that dark pink color. Dark pink has no meaning, it's still pink. And also, if the fur color is such a big defense for Akai's looks, how come you haven't complained about people who have been drawing things for you, called your character light pink, not dark pink? And Akai, not even the outfit is such a big differences with your character and Amy. I'm gonna explain how. The top of your character's clothes is such a complete rip-off Amy's dress. It may not look like a dress, but how are you gonna explain the white color and that opening in her dress? Not to mention, Akai's back is shown, just like Amy's. And Akai, can I just ask you something? Did you really think you would get away with it when you made your character have a hammer?
Is that why you brought her sword back?
What was the point of changing it in the first place anyway? Also, saying other people have the same weapon is not an excuse to begin with, because the examples you put, their characters are not Sonic characters, and they don't look like Amy in a human form or something.
Is there any reason why she still has some fans that worship her? Even if some admit that she can be rude to people?
That another person who made a picture for Akai got a comment from another person who did the same, was saying that she ignored it. And the person was responding to the other one like, she sometimes does that and doesn't accept faces as gifts. As if it was okay for Akai to do that. And then she said it in a way like, she didn't comment for my hard work, but hey, as long as she puts it in her face, I'm fine. Not only they accept her rude behavior, they also don't make any sense when they're trying to explain how Akai and Amy are not alike. They're basically just saying the same thing.
Is it because of her art? Is it because they want to be noticed by someone popular? Or is it because of her character's hotness?
Sure, it seems like Akai gets less attention because of everything that's happened, but she still has fans. And everything that's awkward with Akai and her so-called haters wasn't just a small incident with one person. It was a bunch of people who have been saying their opinions about Akai and can't get it through it to her that even they made a somewhat journal rant about her. And how Akai tried to deal with it, it didn't make things better. First of all, journals, journals, journals she has made every time she got in trouble. Secondly, art related to the situation. such as haters gotta hate, or the deal with it picture that says, I'm great, now I deal with it. Although I said before, I'm a slut, deal with it. It's so funny that all this time you've been trying to tell people that your character isn't a slut, but you put that before you changed it, and then into, I'm not a slut, I'm just popular. I mean, yeah, that really describes you thinking that other artists are better than you. And by the way, what does your popularity have to do with your character not being a slut?
You said that like it was a good thing, and that we should accept it. Yet you hate when people call your character that, even though you make her like that. That makes so much sense. And you thought it was so necessary to take a picture that you already did, change one thing about it, and then submit it as new art, saying that it was for the haters, by having Shadow point a gun at nothing.
Yeah, Kai, you're not showing yourself better than their so-called haters for a few reasons. First of all, haters, have reasons for not liking you. You have no reasons for saying that they're lying about you or saying that you're better than them because you haven't said why. You say that you do, and saying deal with it makes you more of a braggy person than proud of yourself. Secondly, why is it so necessary to use the flipping bird almost every time? That also just shows that you're more rude to people who have different opinions about you. And also, Akai, people didn't just randomly start to hate you. They hate starts because of your behavior, not you individually. But it turns out to be individually because you keep showing yourself nothing more but full of yourself because of all this attention you're getting. And you're always saying that you don't care about the haters. If that was true, why do you need two guys and fans to do your job dealing with the haters? Not to mention, I'm gonna leave the Viner because of them. Although it was obvious that you didn't mean it.
It seems like you just said that just so you could get attention from people.
Also, around that time you said you were gonna leave the Vineyard, it was so obvious that it was a setup and you were just looking for sympathy. We both know that you've been looking at our rants, but your reaction to it is just the same as before because you keep thinking that we're against you, even if we made it so clear that we're not. Not to mention, there's been people out there doing or saying worse things to you, but you act like we're the worst one?
Akai, people have made anti-clubs of you, anti-art about you, stamps about you, and there have been people that have said harsh things to you. And we make a video just saying our opinions and not saying anything mean, and you say that's the reason you don't want to live? Really? Akai, you are 23 years old. Don't you think you're old enough to defend yourself, rather than getting your fans to do it for you? You are an adult, you know.
Or thinking two fictional characters are gonna help you? When you're drawing them nothing but lusting over your character, and seems like they don't care for her feelings and only doing all this stuff just to get her body?
You're pretty much just making your character nothing but a toy for them. But you claim that Akai is in love with Sonic. If that's the case, then why pair her up with Shadow? Or both at the same time?
Or claiming that Amy Rose is Akai's low rival because of Sonic, but you say you love them both?
Your character can't be together with two guys. That's just setting a bad example for her. She has to be with only one.
Who do you freaking love anyway? Because it seems like you're more into Sonic than Shadow. But what you said one time about one picture you made of those three was, more and more I start to pay attention to Shadow. He's more sexy than Sonic. Or in your Sonato comic, you're basically saying that you like Shadow as a vampire better than Sonic, in a way that he's more attractive than him as a vampire.
But it seems like you pay more attention to Shadow because of what you say, yet all you ever draw now is your character with Sonic. If you say all these things about Shadow, and rarely ever say the same about Sonic, then why do you still continue to pair your character up with him?
And don't say, I can draw whatever I want, because the whatever I want argument made people even call your character slut when you basically portrayed her like that. Not to mention, your excuses for not being a slut once again has to involve Amy Rose. You say that she is too because of how people draw her together with Sonic and Shadow. Two things, Akai, that people do draw her like that for a reason. One, Amy doesn't belong to people who draw her like that. You might as well call Sonic a pervert because you make him like that, and he's an official character, so is Amy. Two, people draw stuff like that out of own desire, not because they think that she is like that for real. But since Akai is your character and nobody else draws her like that, you're basically making up your mind of what she's supposed to be since it's your character. Also, Akai, if your character isn't really a slut, how do you explain when you keep drawing your character showing your butt even in front of your kid, or she wears no panties in public? Even if you're not revealing any parts of your character's body, you're making them noticeable, like you can see parts of it.
You're just proving those people right if you keep doing that.
And since many people have been saying that your character doesn't have personality, you've been making a channel picture of your character with a profile. Akai, once again, you keep changing things and never sticks to it. Not to mention, how you describe her so-called personality was just basically described on how she is to other people. Also that you haven't given her the personality you've been reading about her when you draw her neither alone, nor with Sonic or Shadow.
Even if you do make your character alone, she's still suggestive looking. I have not seen one picture of her where parts of her body aren't revealing or sticking out. And you rarely make her alone now. Most of the time, she's always with Sonic.
Not only you're making Sonic perverted and shallow, you're also making him out of character to the point that he's nothing like how you make him when pairing up with Akai. Sonic is this free-spirited person who is heroic, have somewhat cocky attitude, brave. But you make him the exact opposite.
Instead, you make him a pervert, a coward, shallow, and obsessed with your character, even when he first saw her. And not only that, but you make him more desperate for her in your newest comic, Convergence of Fate.
Already in the beginning of the comic, you make him obsessed with her while looking at her being sad.
Now, instead of being concerned or wondering if this girl is okay like any normal person would, he's all like, "What? Who is that? I want that."
And since Akai keeps changing her character's personality and never sticks to one, she made her character sad because she wants someone in her life. And she wished that someone would knock her door and change her life. And obviously, since Sonic's so obsessed with her at the very first sight, he knocked at the door and she acted all terrified the next minute. But wait a minute, didn't you just say for 1 second ago that you wanted that to happen?
You'd think she would sort of be curious about it, or wonder if this guy could possibly be the one that could change her life. But instead, she gets scared about something that she asked for.
And then when Sonic sees Akai in close-up, aka her body, the first thing he was thinking that Akai is so wonderful for me because of her body, and she could give me lots of kids.
He becomes so desperate for her that all he does is tell her lies about the fact that he's a vampire, since Akai is a vampire hunter in the story.
And when Akai was about to show Sonic her weapon, his face looked just like a typical coward little boy, and it doesn't help when he was telling her that he's a vampire hunter too. Couldn't he at least act calm about it, just so he won't get caught? Then later on in the comic, Akai automatically, without putting a scene to it, let Sonic stay for the day while making a bed for him. And then when she was about to sleep herself, he all of a sudden looked sad and thought, "I need you."
And he said this for someone he just met. There's a scene where he gets an urge to bite Akai, but because he loves her so much, he can't bring himself to do it. So he runs into another room and hides. And what does he do to cure this urge? Why, he cuts himself with a knife and drinks his own blood, of course. I mean, it's not like he can bite himself with his own fangs or anything. So, if he wants blood from other people, he bites them. But if he ever wants his own blood, he uses a knife to cut himself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure vampires don't work like that.
After all that, she decided to make food for him. When he was done eating, she was about to clean up the leftovers. But then she happened to trip, and Sonic caught her and she made him have a moment. But then the very next page, everything went back to normal, like it had never happened. She just skipped the scene. And later on, Akai gave Sonic a cookbook for him to read. And just him looking at a picture of lasagna that he just ate made him out of nowhere determined about telling her the truth. So he goes to her room, want to tell her the truth, and he sees her being upset about something. And also, she's revealing while being upset about something, and she doesn't even think that she has a stranger in her house, which happens to be a guy.
She explains to him that she's upset about the death of her parents, and all he had to say in response to that was, "Maybe we were destined to meet," just because he said he had lost his parents too. The way Sonic puts it, it's like Akai herself just randomly made up the whole dead parents story just as an excuse to get them together, not because it's her character's actual backstory, because in her character's profile, it says nothing about her parents being dead. And then Akai just suddenly feels better and agrees with him, saying, "You restore my faith, you're so unique." Again, they just met.
And then the whole scene leads them to kiss. Out of Sonic just wants Akai for her body, and Akai loving Sonic for no reason, except we're destined to meet. But they never got the chance to kiss because the vampire hunter showed up, and once again, Akai thinks it's so necessary to make a character show off her butt.
So then Sonic, who has shown that he's just a coward for Akai's hammer, and the fact that she's a hunter herself, just randomly kidnaps her after she finds out the truth about him from the other hunters.
Yeah, from paralyzed of fear and nervous looking to randomly got the courage enough to kidnap the person. And Akai herself definitely doesn't portray herself good enough as a vampire hunter when she lets herself get kidnapped. When they were done escaping, Akai felt nauseous and started to throw up, which is no big deal. But what's up with the scene after she's done vomiting?
Even after she vomits, she still has to look suggestive. This is just more proof that no matter what she's doing or what condition she's in, she always shows herself to be a toy.
After all that, Akai basically was furious about everything Sonic has done and tried to hit him, but he stopped her. Then out of nowhere, remember when I said they never got a chance to kiss? Well, guess what? They kissed!
What the fuck?
Just give me a few seconds for me to regain myself after all this. Yeah. So, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, the comic. And the kiss. Your turn, Amy.
And she looked like she enjoyed it too. And then for no reason she just passes out with no explanation why.
Guys, like the title says, this is just part 1 of our personal thoughts of Akai. Part 2 is gonna show up very soon. I hope you guys can stay tuned for it. And if anyone has been eagerly waiting for our personal thoughts rant, we're sorry for the delay, but I'm pretty sure that part 2 won't take as much longer to make as part 1 did. But I hope you guys enjoyed what we've got so far. We hope you liked it.